Hey there, and welcome to another Creative You Art Lesson Crate. My name is Karen, and I'm your instructor for today. Our lesson is with Margaret Keane. She was born September 15th, 1927. She is an American artist, and she's been known as the creator of the Big-Eyed Waifs. This artist is the subject matter of a movie that was recently done. Amy Adams portrayed her. The story goes her husband ended up taking on her paintings as his own. So she would paint them and he would sell them and get the recognition. Well, that's not very fair. She's the artist. So once they split, she went to the courts. It was very interesting because ultimately the judge made them sit in the courtroom and paint. And he complained of body aches and pains while she painted the painting, and ended up winning a $4 million in damages suit. So I found that very interesting. It's a pretty good movie. It's a little slow, but it's a cool, or not really cool, I guess, but it's a really good subject matter. It's juicy plot line and all of that. So what we're going to do today is use a artist pencil, and a Torchlight, and an eraser. If you need an eraser, you may not. We're going to create one of Margaret's waifs, or poor children. She said that it was basically like you can see their souls through their eyes. So as you can see, I put my paper side to side, which is horizontal. What we're going to do first is take a look at our pencil. I'm using a 2B. You don't have to use a 2B. You can use any pencil darkness that you like for this part because it is a drawing, it's a sketch. This is not a finished masterpiece. It's just a good exercise for you to learn more sketching techniques. A 2B means B for black. The higher the number B, the blacker it is. The higher the number H, the lighter it is. And if it says HB, it is right down the middle of the road. Now, a torchlight is just basically rolled up paper. It's a thicker paper. It's kind of cardboard. You're not supposed to peel it back or anything. So if you unroll it, it is trash. So don't. And you notice that mine is colored on the end. That's because it's been used. That's a good thing because you can use that over and over and over again. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the face of our little girl. We want to start with the basic shape. Now I'm going to draw a little bit darker on my paper, but I would rather if you drew super, super softly. That way if you mess up, you can erase. That's called sketching. Drawing is where you press hard. So I'm going to draw a circle. Now notice I went a couple of times to get the circle a decent size and a decent shape. Then I'm going to draw a line right down the middle of her face. And then I'm going to draw another line right across the middle. So we have a cross and a circle. I want to go ahead and point a chin. So I'm lining up my pencil, the edge of my circle, I'm bringing it down and I'm bringing it up. It's not a fierce point, it is a curve. Now this line here is going to be the eye line. Below that, about halfway, we need a nose line. And below that, about halfway, we need a mouth line. Looks kind of alien-like right now. Now the trick to one of her waifs is that they have big eyes. That's why they're called the big-eyed waifs. They're cartoony. They're almost anime, which is a Japanese art form of animation. They're very large. So we're going to put in a big circle here and a big circle here, right through our center line. Now it's time to go ahead and start making our real lines in here. What do I mean by that? That means it's time to start pressing. So if this is our eyeball, nice and big. Just draw the U. She has an eyelid that starts just below and pops up. Same with this one. You see it kind of droops over. The iris is very large. That's the colored part of your eyes. And the pupil is also large. In order to make them look sad, you would want to give the appearance of tears. And the best way to give the appearance of tears is to make something look glossy with a shine. So we're going to go ahead and do a rounded rectangle. It doesn't matter where in the eye you put it, but you want to make sure it's on both eyes in the same spot. Now we're going to go ahead and double this line, and we're just going to let it tail off. And that's going to be her eyebrows. Or I'm sorry, her eyelids. Her eyebrows are going to be just above. It's just a simple little line. Now we're going to move down to the nose. I want to do a very subtle smile. Subtle, not super rounded. And then it's going to come on out. So it's almost as if you have a wave going on. You can shadow in there a little bit. And then we're going to softly do a parenthesis on both sides. Her lips, we're going to start with a rounded V. This is the center line of her lips. It's going to curve out and just barely kick out. Let's give her a nice large bottom lip. A little divot, which is a frown. And we're going to do a top lip. It's a U. And it's not going to reach the edges of her mouth. And if you want to bring the edges out just a touch, that makes it look kind of kissy. Now her lines to her face are slightly angled, a little too harshly. So let's round it out a little. Bring it down, curve it gently, and back up. Oops, went a little too far. Now the thing about this, and honestly I think her chin's a little too low. If you sketched softly, you can erase. If you drew dark, you're not going to be able to erase as well. So draw softly until you're confident in your lines. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and erase all of my guidelines. I don't need any of those inside the face. And I'm going to now draw her neckline. The human neck is actually quite large. So we want to go almost to the edge of the eye and then connect it with a smile. Now she is a young child, so let's give her a childlike appearance with a big Peter Pan style collar. And then shoulders that droop down. She's going to have hair that droops down. She's got bangs, and she's going to have ponytail. So we need to decide where the part is in her hair. And we're going to do a swooping motion. So however you want her bangs to be, do a swoop. What do I mean by a swoop? I don't want you doing this. That's too solid of a line. Hair is wispy. Lots and lots of wisps. Why am I only coming out of that T, or that little point? Because now I'm going to start bumping up and bringing it in and combining them. All right, so every now and then you want to add some darkness to her hair. So just add some shadow. Just every now and then just fill in a little section that's white. Fill it in dark. So like this is white right here. We're gonna make that a shadow in her hair. Let's do some more over here. So that gives it the illusion of having depth. I'm gonna give her a couple little wisps that hang down. And then I'm gonna give her ponytails, which is a C, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then I'm gonna kinda bring it in with a little more ponytail. So it's almost like an E. Let's give it some shadow. I'm going to darken this side. And let's do the other side. This one's not going to be sticking out as far as this one. We're just going to go out and down. It's okay to have some random hairs sticking out. In fact, I'm kind of missing a few over here. And darken this area underneath. I think I kind of like that. All right, so now I want to fill in the pupil of her eyes. Notice I'm not stressing too hard about filling every single bit of white, because we're going to come back through with our torch, which is that cardboard thing, and it's going to fill in those spots. But the pressure of your hand is very important with this part, because we want to lift the pressure off and just barely color in the iris. There's the iris. Let's barely color in the lips. And now let's add some darkness to her shirt. And shadowing under the chin. Let's put a little bit of shadow on the white, even though it's not fully necessary. We still want some darkness. We want to shadow her face. Half of her face is away from the sun. Notice I filled in the eyes. I filled in all over the side. Now I'm going to add a little bit of shadow on this side, because anything that's rounded is going to be shadowed on both edges, but one a little more than the other. Now I would like to add a little bit of shadow on her nose, a little on her chin. Let's do a little around her eyes, forehead. And let's see how that goes. We're going to go ahead and grab our torch. and we're going to blend. What I mean by blend is you're going to press this paper on every pencil line you have drawn. You are literally rubbing it in. And as you can see, as I push, it's filling in anywhere I forgot. Alright, so I'm going to pause while you fill in all of your lines. Now don't worry about all of this part yet. I'm going to show you that part next. Just go around and every pencil line that you have made, outline it a couple of times, at least 3-4 times each. Okay, so we're going to pause. Okay, so I'm back. I have just done all the basic outlines. Notice I didn't do my hair yet because I'm going to use my fingers. Your fingers have a natural oil to them, which helps blend. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So just rub your finger all over the hair. Drag along the side of the face, the neck, wherever you've got that chunky the chunky pencil lead. All right, so that is our sketch of the Margaret Keane waif, big-eyed waif. I hope you had a good time drawing her just as much as I did. She's just a fun little character to create. Take a look at some more of Margaret Keane's works. In the future, we'll be doing a painting of one of her waifs. That's coming up in a few months. So if you enjoyed doing this one, stay tuned. We will be doing another one soon. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me, and I will talk to y'all next time.